Some of the social gambling industry is making an absolute fortune, making a lot more than the online gambling industry. I mean, look at the stock market valuations for an example. So yes, they can afford a bit of regulation or even just a bit of responsibility.
I don't think regulation is necessarily bad or destructive of social gambling. I think it just means that it'll exist in a different regulatory and tax context. So if I were a gambling business now, I would see a future 5-10 years down the road where I wanted social gaming assets in order to be able to address a broader range of customers with a broader range of product.
What is it that you want to protect is what is unclear at the moment. And in the absence of knowing what is it that you're trying to regulate, there is absolutely no point of regulation.
So you have to watch and make sure you know your customer. Make sure that the right people who can afford it are spending a lot of money.
And because there are all kinds of ways of spending more money than you can afford on the internet and in other places. So I think that'll be enough to trigger people looking more closely at social gambling and identifying the fact that there are no real consumer protections provided, no know your customer and no age verification. And that, I think, will trigger the regulations.
You want to make sure you know who your whales are and make sure that they can afford to be whales and make sure they're not some single mum at home with kids and can barely afford the rent and is looking for an escape online and is unintentionally spending more than she could afford. It's those kind of people that this kind of protection would help.
Then I think there's a lot of things that we are doing in the social gaming industry that are giving a lot of pleasure to other people and nobody wants to talk about it. All we hear is like this little dot of even like it's a vague dot. It's not even clear what it is that you're trying, and that nobody wants to talk about the pleasure we're bringing to the homes of lots of people.
I'm hopeful that the industry will take it upon themselves to put the protections in place that are needed, and they need to take a bit of a socially responsible attitude. And if they do, they won't get regulated.